Hello, good morning. So we're going to take a look at scan the markets. Nothing too intense. Most of the session will be held in London when you all wake up, or when most of you are around, and then we'll have another session in New York. Just wanted to briefly look at the markets because it's so volatile. There's lots going on, and obviously um, it was a big move yesterday in late in the evening. I woke up and saw it this morning. Um, I don't think we'd have got in. I mean, we wouldn't have got in. We were waiting for a lot of people went short. I noticed a lot of people went short. Not in the group, but um, traders went short, heavily short actually. I think even EXO got caught in a short. So and SC they both texted me this morning. So we all have a short fatality on our record this week. But yeah, onwards. Um, Now, what were we looking for yesterday? So yesterday we mentioned a few altcoins that we were interested in. Um, the four particularly are Doge, LTC, Rune, and Sol. Now, what we're going to do first, we're going to look at the majors, then we're going to look at the indexes, particularly dollar and SPX, and the liquidation levels and the CVD, and then make a decision on altcoins, set some alerts, and see. Yeah, because if there's weakness in the market, we don't want to start stepping into, because there was another move up in Bitcoin and a lot of these did lag. So if there is another move higher, sorry, if there is a move lower first, altcoins are going to come down with it, so we get to buy a better dip. We don't want to be underwater on an altcoin if Bitcoin has put in a high, and it keeps squeezing, 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 and a lot of these keep lagging behind. So I'm wondering if that's because they're lagging or there's weakness. And there's always this period in the cycle, and it tends to be in a downtrend. Well, there's a period in an uptrend. There's like one period where there's one period in both cycles actually, up and down, where Bitcoin just goes on its own, and and it hurts the rest of the market. It sucks the life out of the rest of the market. Typically, FBTC will drop. So if you pull, yeah, I mean, there you go. So SBTC has had that real big pullback. It took out that high and it's had that pullback to these levels. Now the question we have to have is that support? So let's clean a lot of these charts up, and we'll come back to that in a moment. But first, let's look at BTC. So I'm actually going to use this one today because this one's a lot cleaner, I think. So how are we doing on the weekly? Good morning, love. Love later. How are we doing on the? I mean, excellent weekly, right? If we were looking at just at the weekly in terms of a gap fill, or what you guys call an FVG or a inefficient move, it has lots of different names, doesn't it? This would be the last low before it broke, wouldn't it? Last low pre-break, LLPB. So if we drag that over, because our levels got blown through on the I think we had H2, didn't we? And it just got, not only did it get blown through, which was here. Um, where is my tool dashboard gone? There we go. Okay, there we are. Not only did it get blown through, I mean, this cluster here, which would have been resistance, just got completely blown through with December high. Then you have to start looking higher at gap fill. So that is where we're at. I mean, you're looking at a market that has a completely thin move down, and that was the FTX move. That was the FTX move. So the way it moved down, always the plan has been to fill it back up, but I wasn't sure it was going to happen this quickly. Um, but obviously that daily move is looking even better now, isn't it? But there we go. Anyway, so what are we looking for now? Probably continuation, but we'll have a look at the high block capital and then we'll have a look at the CVD to see how things are doing, because there might be, and I would anticipate like a pullback even into one of these levels. I'm not sure it will come all the way back there, but that is the nearest level of support. So if it does come back there, then we'll look to get long. Otherwise, I'm going to set an alert for, I'm going to set two alerts, in fact. One is going to be at the lowest candle of this consolidation. Okay, so we want it to run some lows because it may not retest the level. So there, add alert for BTC. If it comes down and spikes that low and then breaks structure, then we will get in and continuation. We won't need a retest of the level. And those waiting for the retest of the level may get front run. Okay, so that's the first alert. The second alert is going to be on the level in case it just, because it may just fast move back today, just a quick fast move into there and then spike and leave us with an SFP. So the next alert, but again, we can't just set a limit order because actually, well, I mean, we could have a risk there, but I'm not sure I want to take a, not sure I want to take a move just in case the top is in and then the bounce. But I prefer to set alerts, see where we're at in London session, and then to decide on an entry. Because if it comes back to the level, I'm just going to place it just above. Sorry, got to use this one, haven't I? Just going to place it just above the level there. Add for BTC. Now, so there's the alerts. Make sure you set them up so they happen on your phone. Move into there, spike. We'll get long invalidation. Okay, risk or stop loss, whatever you want to call it. There. Okay. Deeper drop. We'll look to see how it holds. Maybe we get a little deviation or failure pattern below the level. Then we'll look to get in. So I'm looking at this over here thinking, well, maybe this CPI move down is the entry. Well, it could be. Let's see what happens at the first alert. If it follows through, a bit like Solana, where we have the, would be wrong there. Similar to the Solana setup we looked at yesterday. The price dropped in. I mean, it spiked quite deep, but then came back for a second retest and moved away. Okay, so the first retest is fine. We're okay to just set an alert and wait for it. But I have no problem taking an entry off this level with a risk there if it pulls back deep enough, okay? So that will be Bitcoin. Let's just bring up the, oh, I can't bring up, I'll post it in the channel. I'll post it in the channel now. We can have a look at high block together. CVD, for some reason I can't switch screens on this stream. You can switch, but it doesn't bring it. Switch on Discord doesn't bring it up on the recording. I need to work that out. It's the problem. The problem seems to be with QuickTime recording. I might need to use OBS or something, but it's pretty heavy on the system. Let me just post the high block capital for you in the channel, and then we can discuss it. Obviously, that hasn't mattered for about 3 days now. The majority have been right. Oh man, I mean that's extreme now. That's actually really extreme. Whew. Okay, so that's the most I've seen it in 2 years, 3 years since 2019. So for those who can't see, okay. So for those of you who can't see, I'll post it in the chat. I'll post it in the channel for those in Fight Club now, and then we'll discuss it. So of course, look, it can still keep going up, but what is it? Ratio is 5 when we shorted. Yeah, so it's not 5 anymore. And why is it not? I'm trying to post it in the channel Praxis. Sorry, brother. Oh, come on then. Oh, there it is. It's bloody hell. It's popped up now. It was the previously it was 59 to 50, 13 to 50 or something, 56. Now it's 193 longs to 31. So it's 6.5, nearly 7 ratio. So there's 31 short liquidations, 193 longs. Now this to me looks like, look, it could absolutely continue up. But if it does have a little pullback and it shows strength, and we just get a little dip to take out some of them local lows. So let me zoom in for you here. Let me zoom in for you here, and you can see which ones I'm talking about. Okay, there. Maybe a little bit more. So if you look at this image I'm now going to send to you, legends. Um, yeah. So if you look here, and particularly that blue, that dark black level, if you look at the biggest bubbles, okay, the biggest bubbles just below, they come down to about 18 to 1825, which on the chart 1825, there's 1835. So really it could wipe out the biggest bubbles and continue filling longs, right? It doesn't actually need to completely reverse and break structure. It may be enough to just come down, fill, and then continue up, because it would actually take out a significant amount of long liquidations. Now, for uh, dollars, yes. So look on the right, okay? Look on the look on the right hand Praxis. Can it also show the ratio in terms of dollars to be liquidated? So the most recent one I've just brought up, can you see on the right hand side it says liquidity profile? So let me just, no, I can't switch screen because it's going to mess up the recording. Um, Look at the longest lines to the right. Okay, they're the highest amounts of money, 250, 250, 250, and they're all below. Can everybody see that? The longest lines on the right hand side of the chart. There's an extra chart if you like. Yeah, good. Okay, so yeah, that liquidity profile on the right hand side of the chart has all them lines moving from left to right, like what do they call it? A bar chart, a vertical bar chart. And the longest three are below, and each of them have 250 million, roughly. So you've got a lot below. You thinking like this figure above? You mean at the middle, at the top? They didn't used to have, but they may have. Oh, cumulative liquidity levels. The delta is 10 billion. So you have this one at the bottom. That's a good question. It doesn't cumulative long licks. Um, it's not on here, but let me have a look at this when we come off stream, because it might be on somewhere else in the. There's a lot of different product, or a lot of different options or features within the platform. You have liquidation levels, liquidation heat map, net positions heat map, etc., etc. When we close the stream, we'll jump on. We'll stay on. See you later, mate. Hope you've moved in well. Um, so, um, so let's come back to the chart. Uh, Essentially, okay, we want the dip first if we're going to get long. Now, if we get a run up, which is where we're now going to set our next alert, if we get a run up on the high, which I'm half tempted to just take the short on this at the moment. I'm looking at it thinking, you know what, we could short back into that level because it's broken structure. And let me just pull up the CVD and just confirm this because I mean, at every level, there's been shorts have been blown out. We lost zero point 0.2 on one. SZ and EXO had a pop at it yesterday, and also found out about not grabbing the bull by the horns. Legends. God, it's got all of us this week. So if we have, I mean, there's a little swing, three triple swing high there as well. I'm quite tempted to take this position, just back into support, just back into our alerts as a scalp. It's more clear on Ethereum, is it? Okay, Idelica, I'll jump on there in a second. Thank you. So if we go for um there, we have that triple swing, one, two, three, and then that that imbalance there may be what is needed. Now it may have already filled the shorts, which if I was going to take the short, it would be the whole move up there. Um, and I may well take that and post that in the Discord. Okay, so I'll decide after the rest of the stream. But CVD, how is that looking? CVD. I'm bringing it up now. Oh yeah, that's a bigger dip on ETH, to be honest. That hasn't broken as high as Bitcoin, has it? That's actually below this swing high, Ethereum. I'll bring that chart up in a moment. Very nice clean chart you got there, sir, and a very lovely wide screen. What is that there? What you got? Excellent for the way we trade. Superbly wide screen. Is it one of them curved ones? IMAX, is it? Yeah, very nice, mate. Very nice. Um, what we got? Well, the CVD is not really showing anything, but it doesn't always. Let me have a look at the Ethereum CVD. I know somebody can link me. Um, where's that? Praxis, do you have the Ethereum CVD? Because I've lost the link. Sorry, I've lost the link. The link's been deleted. Oh, you legend! Thank you, mate. Oh, it's in the resources channel as well, isn't it? I remember that. So let's have a look at the high block capital for Ethereum in a moment too. Okay, well Ethereum looks, yeah, okay, so there's a divergence for sure on Ethereum showing weakness. Um, it does look like that move up was just a squeeze, doesn't it? We look at it a bit more. So um, let's go to Ethereum. We have an alert set on Bitcoin. I'm going to decide whether we take the short there with the risk there into there. Trade would look something like this. Okay. Oh, not that way. There, okay, something like that, just straight into support. No big deal. Of course, it can go lower, but it's not our business. So possibly that into there. If I believe the high is in, we'll post that just after the stream. Now let's move on to Ethereum because we do have that. Um, Now, if you come back to Bitcoin, okay, and you look at yesterday's, yeah, was it yesterday? No, yesterday's high is here, but Asia high, which is at this key level. So this high on Bitcoin yesterday, we're nowhere near it, right? We're nowhere near it yet. With Ethereum, it's Asia high from yesterday is here, and it's the strength only just pushed up enough to take it out. Then it took that high out, which is exactly what Odelica has just posted, and he's mentioned the CPI low coincides with a uh, weekly VWAP. I don't know how. I never know how to say that word properly. So it's the volume profile, isn't it? VWAP. Or do you say VAP? VWAP. Oh, you say VWAP. Okay. Well, there we go. You learn something new. VWAP. I always read it on Twitter. I'm like, WAP? WAP? How do people say this? But I know what it is. Of course I know. I don't use it myself, but yeah, VWAP. So you talking about this low here? You talking about a full on short into that low, are you? Interesting. So let me have a look at these levels because why have we not got any levels? Oh, we have. Okay. So ultimately, we'll be looking for the target to be in there on longs, but taking a short on a pullback is no problem. Now, to be honest, that might not be too bad at what you've just mentioned there, because the level I would mark out here would be VWAP. Very nice word to use, actually. Very nice level to mark out here would be right in there. So I was going to use this high, which is previous high before the market broke out, but you bring it into here as well, and you get two nice levels, or a key swing high gives you extra confidence that it's an area of resistance. Why? Because when the market moved up into this, focus on them as, think of them as price points. When the market moved up into here, it sold off. So at that price point, sellers stepped into the market, dropped it. Okay. Now it's broke through. You expect the flip to not necessarily be retested, but if it is retested, you expect it to hold and then swing. Okay. Because now you're looking at this here as a range and a breakout, right? So that is the range, higher lows into level breakout, a retest on the backside of that, and you swing that straight into there. That would be the plan. So let's see where that level lines up when we drop the time frame, and then I'll bring up high block as well. I've actually got high block brought up on the other screen already. So we have here Ethereum, ETH, meth. We don't mind Ethereum. It's all right. I just wouldn't own it for a very long time. You know, it's got utility for the moment, but the way it's being handled, I'm not sure that is something you want to still be holding if your local currency was to die. So Ethereum, the short liquidations, I mean, it's not too bad. Well, the ratio is 3 roughly. Well, it's just about 3.5. Short liquidation is 27, long liquidation is 98. Obviously, the same as Bitcoin, the biggest bubbles and the biggest value is by just trading a touch lower into, I'll post it for you now so you can see this, which is there. So just lower prices, which would be you can see them longest levels with the biggest bubbles down at 1359, 1334. So on the chart, 1359, 1334 is 1359 is there, 1334 is in there. So a move into there would line up with all the confluence that you've just mentioned, Delica, and it would just simply be back into support, which was this consolidation, this accumulation, which sent the market higher. Now we have taken the highs out here. We haven't quite broken the structure because this is the H1, right? So if we come back to a little bit lower time frame, um, here we we can see breaks in structures on the M15, which would have been here, here, and now where would you take your entry from? Um, you'd want to be fairly wide on it. I'm not sure you'd get the fill, but I'd probably go as wide as this, because you probably, it's $2-3 difference there, and if you're targeting at least back into support, which is here, which is this black level we marked from the daily, um, you're gonna get you're not gonna be too concerned about a dollar or two on the trade value. Okay, so 2.76. You move that up a little bit higher, you may not get filled, and you'd get 3.3. But it's moved away to such the point now. I'm not sure it pulls all the way back too deep. So if you wanted to take this trade there, otherwise, I still like the Bitcoin short too. I think either of them, whichever one you want to play. I think the Bitcoin's a little bit close to its entry, which is, well, it's not really, I suppose, but it hasn't moved a lot lower compared to Ethereum, which seems to be, oh, lost the chart. Seems to be moving lower quite progressively now. So um, for me, the current volatility is in Bitcoin, which I think if we get that fill and drop into there, it would be a great trade. Now let's come back to the altcoins, which we mentioned yesterday. Doge. So what did we want from Doge yesterday? We mentioned we had that previous long um, that had the markets had this big spike. Now can't get involved in this really because of yesterday's low is there. Probably going to need something like, I mean, you're probably going to need some sort of a dip. Let me just get rid of this level here. Probably going to need a dip. I still want to get involved with it because I believe in the price arriving at zero point 0.9, which is only, sorry, 0.09, which is only 0.01 higher. We're not asking for much. We're asking for a third macro low, or macro high rather, so lower high. Probably something like this, to be honest. When you look at this chart, it does look like it may flatten out, and then later on in the year, possibly. So more upside, just trying to get in. Now you're probably going to need something down here to hold, and it may well be that we take out that low if the markets all move down together, and then we find our low. And if we do find our low, we'll be able to get in. Okay, because currently we can't. So LTC, same really. It was on the other chart, I believe, though. Let me bring that up. Load macro. What have we got? What have we got? LTC. I'm pretty sure I had levels marked out on one of these. Oh, I didn't. I didn't. What a shame. Okay, so I didn't have levels marked out on an LTC, but again, big spike yesterday. We're going to need for it to find a low today, and then we'll take a look at it. This is Rune is slightly different because it's back in. It's not quite, but it's almost back into a level. Now, it's very possible. The problem is I do want to be short Bitcoin, but if you look at that spike there, it may well be that it holds that, like similar to Solana. If we come to when we come to Solana in a moment. So what you had here was because they may hold against Bitcoin. Some of them definitely do. They don't all tank at the same time, and you get things like AVAX, which runs on its own. So you have had the run of all the lows with the CPI numbers on Rune, breaking structure, pull back, buyers stepped in. So then you got continued breaking structure. Is this the level to buy? if you're bullish, definitely, because if it breaks this and you get stopped out here, that would be a breaking structure and bearish anyway. So then you wouldn't want to be long. You could just continue shorting this all the way back down to here. Okay. So I think if being bullish and still looking for continuation, which we are in BTC and Ethereum, if they pull back to supports, this could be the move. This could be the entry. So we'll take a look at that after the stream. But that would be the plan and continued upside. So Rune, okay. Solana is one of the entries yesterday already filled. This was the one I was talking about, right? We set that up on the stream, but it had already spiked. And I think one of you were in already spectating, and then it came back for the second retest, double retest, moved away. Now, if the way back into this market, if that continues, is either this low holds, which would depend on Bitcoin and Ethereum, or or this low gets taken out, and then we get in again over here once we've got a new invalidation and almost a double confirmation. And then you start looking at higher lows into resistance breakout. And I still think this goes to 20. So 20 is the price, whole number, take it off there and then back. Okay. Any questions? Yeah, exactly. It's DZA. Did you just watch that or not? Sorry, I only just seen your question. Did you agree with what I said for Solana? Yeah, okay, mate. Lovely. So, yeah, it's holding strong. Um, and they're the plans for for today. Okay. So thanks for joining. Bye bye.